Yes, right, cool, we've got it sorted. So even if you can't join live, if you can't join this room, then please make sure that you join. In fact, I'm just going to go and add this link so that you can. 2 seconds.
No, I wonder if I can do it.
Let me just make sure this is coming up on Facebook. Live. Yay, there we are. Okay. I'm very loud. Make sure that you join. In fact, I'm just going to go and add this link so that you can. 2 seconds.
No, I wonder if I can do it.
Let me just make sure this is coming up on Facebook. Brilliant. So we've got Leanne. Jade is watching. Excellent. Jade, I seen that you were watching. Jump on. Get in here. So I've put the link into the comments. You'll be able to see it, and I would really love for you to join. But anyway, what we're going to do is just crack on. So we're just coming up on 6:10. We'll probably finish about 7:30 or something, if that's all right. So the first thing I want to do is just let's have a check-in. So put into the chat in 2 words how your week's been.
Week's been in 2 words.
Mine has been this. More coffee.
How hard? Try to think of 2 words.
Mega busy. Okay, brilliant. What about you, Steph?
I'm coming.
On fire. Love that. Louise, can you unmute and give us 2 words? I know you're driving, so just be
Full on.
Full on. Okay, you know, full on. That'll be on your headstone. Full on.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Love it. Okay, cool. So so let's just give you a wee bit of an intro on who we are, right? So I'm Andrea. I'm one of the founders of Powerful Women Unleashed, and I started this coaching business in 2019, and it's just really grown from there. And I coached Louise, who's on the call, I coached Steph, who's on the call, and we realised that as a group, we really wanted to do something big, right? We've all got our reasons for wanting to help and empower women, and we realised that we could do more as a group than what we can do individually. If you take Louise's expertise in being able to track habits and manage performance and really up that, and you take Steph's expertise in fitness and health and how the mind and the body are so connected, and then myself with all the relationship stuff, and Mallory, who's not here right now because she's in Texas time, and her expertise in ADHD and also vision boarding. Like, it's just a whole big package. But that's the business side of things. But on the personal side of things, I'm only really going to speak to my journey with fitness, because this is what this is all about. So I've had my fair share of binging and starving myself. This is how I used to eat. I would eat and eat and eat and eat, and then I'd feel shitty about myself, and I'd start beating myself up and start putting weight on, and then I would starve myself, and then I'd get into this mindset of like, I'm hungry, I'm cranky, I'm annoyed, I'm getting irritable, and then I'd hit my wall with it and I'd binge eat again. So there was no consistency, and I pinned all of my happiness and all of my self-esteem on what number was on the scale. So if I was bigger, oh, I fucking hated myself. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I didn't want to go out. I started to hide. But if my weight was down and I was feeling like skinny or slim or whatever, then I was happy, I was confident, I was bubbly, and I was out there. So that was kind of how I did things in terms of the food side of things and how I saw myself. But how I was training was ridiculous, right? I was so focused on intensity rather than consistency that I would burn out in my training as well. And what I would do is, I had no plan, I had no framework or anything for what I was doing. I was just throwing myself at it, and it was a battleground for me. It was a way that I could take myself to task and really give myself a doing. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I was training for 3 hours a night doing Thai boxing. I was a machine, but I was absolutely burst by the end of it. My joints were all sore, my soft tissues were breaking down inside my nose and the side of my mouth because I wasn't getting enough nutrients to keep up with that training. And then, you know, Thursday, Friday, I would take off, but then Saturday and Sunday. And if I had a day off, I used to feel shit about it. So what I would usually do is I would go and do weight training, and I would train for 2 hours minimum. Plus I'd do a deck of cards where I was doing like a good 40 minutes of intense cardio. And that's the way that I trained. And if I did any less than that, I mean, people kept it, you're overtraining, what are you doing? You don't need to train like that, you'll be fine. But I thought, if I even take my foot slightly off the gas, I'm going to get fat, I'm going to hate myself. Like, there was no other option for me mentally. And I didn't have a clear goal. I wasn't clear on what I was meant to be doing. I had no framework, and I didn't know why I was training. And I'd never really looked at that, about what was it I was actually chasing. Was it fulfillment? Was it self-esteem? And there was a million other ways to get that. So fast forward to today, I've done all this mindset work and I'm clear about why I'm training. I'm also chasing consistency rather than intensity. And I've stopped beating myself up, which is a fucking nice place to be, because I don't binge and starve anymore. Sometimes I get busy and I forget to eat, but that's a different thing. That's not me intentionally depriving myself. And mentally, I feel better. Physically, I feel better. But mentally, I feel better because physically I feel better, because this thing here is what carries me about life. And if this is sore and tired, it has a massive effect on how I'm going to be performing mentally, you know, and I've got a lot to manage, planning a wedding, running 2 businesses, and also I'm at college doing software development plus my own studies. So it's a lot to take on. This shit needs to be in good shape. Otherwise, I'm fucked, right? So that's my journey with fitness and how I've come about. And Steph, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, so for those of you that I've yet to meet, my name is Steph, and like Andrea was saying, I worked with her, gosh, at the beginning of last year, I think it was.
Yeah.
So I'm a personal trainer and I'm a yoga teacher, and I'm also a full-time student. I'm studying a law degree, because we like to just throw everything in at the one time. So and I think when I tell people that I'm a personal trainer, they just have this belief that I don't know, I came out of the womb being so interested in fitness, and I can't tell you how not the case that was. So I don't know if anyone can relate to this, but high school PE was like a really traumatic hour of my week. And I remember one time running out into the PE hall and I looked down and I had 2 different trainers on, like they weren't even matching. That's how unprepared I was for that class. I hated it, let alone the whole, you know, when they stand you up at the side of the room and your pals have to pick your teams. Like, I was always picked because your pals pick you, but you were last to be picked because they always sorted their teams out to make sure they would win, and then they'd go back and collect their pals. So yeah, PE and physical education just was not for me. I hated it. So fast forward a couple of years, I went down like a kind of performing arts route. I'd always been interested in acting, and I'd went to a school in Glasgow. I went to Knightswood Secondary, which was the dance school of Scotland. And part of that was that we had to dance, which, you know, I don't know if anyone knows Andy Pandy. I talk about Andy Pandy in work, and half of them don't have a clue who this puppet is. But yeah, I dance like a bit of a puppet. It doesn't come naturally to me. So went down that route. And then when I was 16, everything really changed. Like, everything totally changed. So my dad, I think a lot of people, I feel very lucky to be able to say this, but I felt like my dad was the best man that walked the earth. And one day he just dropped dead. So like, it was the most traumatic thing I'd ever experienced. And then, if anyone's ever been through this, you'll know that it's just like this whole unraveling of the life you thought life was. And being 16 is such an odd age because you're just kind of figuring out who you are, and life as you know it's just being totally turned upside down. So we had, as a family, had to navigate this. And one of the things was that my dad was a big man. Like, he often think, you know, he had a big heart, so he had to have a big soul, a big body to carry it. But his fact is that he just lived a very unhealthy life. And so actually the way I dealt with it later on, because it kind of wasn't until like maybe a few years later that maybe about 18, 19, I moved to London to continue doing an acting degree because I was on this path of being an actress. But I needed something for my mindset and my mind health, because that felt like it was all over the place. I'd never really dealt with the key issues that happened. So I ended up finding a yoga studio, and it was through yoga that like I really just all of a sudden was able to breathe again and just start moving my body a little bit. It was never intended to be a physical thing. It was never intended to help me look a certain way. It was all about how my mind was. I opened a yoga studio. I got really into it. I think there's something I do that I get really into something. So I opened the first ever hot yoga studio in Ayrshire, which was incredible. It was such a great experience. I met amazing people. But I also started to lift weights. I started to train really hard, and 1 session a week became 2 sessions a week, and then it became 3 sessions a week. And then before I knew it, I was competing in my first ever bodybuilding competition, which was wild. If anyone never has experienced this, it's just crazy. Like, it's just, it kind of took every limiting belief I'd ever had and turned it on his head. Like, I couldn't believe I did it. And I actually did quite well. And then later on managed to be like get my PT qualifications. And so here we are. I'm now working as a PT and yoga teacher, and I'm fierce fitness coach for powerful women. So it's that was a bit of a quick stop tour of what I've been doing for the past 20 years of my life. But I think the key thing that I want everyone to know is that this fitness world didn't come naturally to me. I wasn't the fastest runner. I wasn't the strongest in the class. In fact, I was the complete opposite of all of it. And where I am now is just pure belief in like making and working hard. That's all it was. And rewiring my brain and getting really clear on what I wanted to achieve and just going after it. So that's the key things I think I would take away with that. And now, like, I just don't believe that any other person should have to lose a family member due to unhealthy lifestyles or an uneducated lifestyle. Like, it's one of my biggest passions is that people are educated and supported in making a change so that they never have to go through losing a parent. Because it was horrific. So that is my driving force around fierce fitness for sure. So we are. That's that. Yeah.
So yeah, we are. That's us in a nutshell. Louise, I know that you're driving and stuff. Do you want to say a few words about your journey with fitness, or will we crack on? Let me know.
I'm so sorry, my signal keeps cutting in and out.
No worries, no worries. We'll crack on then. So I guess, like, you've heard a wee bit about us, and we just want to check in with you first of all. Like, where would you say you are on your fitness journey? So let's just keep it really simple. Let's put a number into the chat, right? On a scale of 0 to 10, where are you? So if you're at a 0, it means like you don't get off the couch, snacks are a food group, and fitness isn't even on your radar. And a 10 would be you're like training for a bodybuilding competition, you're so pumped, like nothing stops you from getting in the gym, your diet's all fucking absolutely perfect. So where are you between 0 and 10? If you just pop that into the chat so we can get a bit of a gauge about where you're at right now. Cool, awesome. Oh, we've lost Louise. Maybe we should have made this later. I don't know. Okay, so you've got a 4, stop and start. And Linda, where are you? Oh, you've got a 1. Okay, perfect. Excellent. So if you're less than a 5, then if you could sum it up, 3 words or less, what do you think is getting in your way? And you just fire it into the chat if you can. Get people messaging here.
I know, I was just having a look at Facebook to see if anyone was commenting.
Bairns and motivation. Okay, cool.
Right, I'm getting mixed up. How to do it again? I've just done it.
That's all right. You could even just, if you're comfortable just sharing here, that's fine too.
Sugar addiction.
Sugar addiction.
I became very lazy.
Lazy.
Okay,
Okay.
cool. Sugar addiction and laziness. Brilliant. Great reasons to not do it. I love that.
Yeah.
Cool. So the three things that we believe you need, which really feed into, these are the three kind of overarching things, and then we've got 5 pillars of fierce fitness. But the 3 things that is really critical to have, here's Cheryl coming in. Oh, I'm so excited to see Cheryl. So the 3, I'll just let her join, make sure she's in all right. Okay, great. So the 3 things that we need is, first one, clarity. You need to know, you need a framework, you need to be clear on what it is that you're going to be doing, right? Because if you're clear about something, then you get the next part, which is excitement, right? If I was to say to any of you, you're going on holiday tomorrow, get excited. You would want to know where you're going, wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, how are you meant to get excited about something if you don't know what it is? If you're not clear on it, you don't have that clarity. So clarity is really, really important, because without clarity, you can't have excitement. And then excitement, right? Why do we need excitement? I mean, you don't, but it makes life a lot easier, right? So doing things that are exciting, the time tends to pass quicker. And what that is it's just a form of time distortion in your brain. Think about how long it takes you, if you were to put them side by side, how long would it take you to clean out that kitchen cupboard that you keep saying that you're going to sort out, and get all your spices and throw away the out-of-date ones and go through all this admin, isn't it? It takes fucking forever. So that compared to, let's plan a really cool trip with a few friends that you've not seen in ages and you absolutely love spending time with. So you took those 2 things, might take the same amount of time, but one of them is going to feel longer than the other. So clarity, excitement. What excitement gives you access to is power. And power is the ability to create results. All that really means in real terms is taking action. Every action produces a result. So clarity, excitement, and power. And with those 3 things, that's exactly what we're going to give you in this session, so that you've got that, and then you can take that into your training. And to support that training, if you stay to the end, we're also going to give you a full month free of Fierce Fitness DIY. I'm going to take you through exactly what to do on the things, so you're completely clear about what it is that you're doing. You'll get access to these exercises that we'll be doing today, and I recommend that you do it every 3 months. And you're also going to get a copy of the I really fucking love my body planner, so that you've got ways to track things and really just start bringing your life into a bit more excitement, clarity, and power. So he's ready to crack on, and we'll get started. Does everyone get pen and paper?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, great. Cheryl, it's lovely that you're here. I'm so excited that you've joined us.
Oh.
So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to create clarity. And the first place that we need to start looking is, what's your current situation? What does life look like right now? So we're going to go through a wee bit of a list, right? The first thing that we're going to look at is, what are the results that you have in your life right now? And by results, we mean things like, what's the number on the scale? Like, what's the tangible, measurable things that you've got in your life? So it might be, I weigh this much, my clothes size is this much, I train this many days, I eat like this. Whatever it is that you can measure, that you could track, that goes into your results box. So just take a minute or 2 and just write down, what are the results that you've got right now from your training, and be really straight with yourself. And you don't have to share any of this, so it's just for you. I'll just give you a minute or 2 to do that. Cheryl, that's totally fine. That's totally fine. I know what it's like when life is kicking off at the same time with kids and dogs and all that stuff. So no worries if you're off camera. So first thing, results, right? What creates results? There's two things. There's two kind of elements that feed into that. There's your mindset and your actions or your non-actions. So what that means is your mindset, what's your approach to this? Like, can it be fucked? Or really, really up for this? And your actions and non-actions are, what are you doing and what are you not doing? Or what are you avoiding? So your actions and your mindset actually line up perfectly to give you exactly the results that you've got right now. And you'll see this in other people, right? It's normally easier to see it in others than it is to see it in yourself. But you probably get friends that you've seen, right? That their mindset around things is like they're always up to something, right? They're always doing something. I'm going to be doing this. It's going to be giant. It's going to be massive. And they're dead excited about stuff, but they're not taking actions. They're avoiding doing the work. And they get the exact results that you would expect from that. Similarly, someone that is taking all of the right actions, like when they take the actions, they are on fire, but they can't be arsed. And they stop themselves and they go, oh, fuck this. And you can see the potential in them, right? And you're like, if you would just do more of that, you would be fine. Then they get the exact results you would expect from that. So start to look, what's your mindset when it comes to fitness and health? And what are the actions that you're taking and what are you avoiding? Just give you a minute or two to write down some of those. And then stop me if I'm going too fast, by the way. But the next bit is the bit that people don't see. And we tend not to share with people. But this is the bit that really drives everything else. This is your views, opinions, beliefs, or rules that you've got around fitness. So views are kind of loosely held, opinion a little bit stronger, belief is pretty solid, and a rule is steadfast. You don't deviate from it. So whatever you believe might fall into one or more of those categories. A rule usually starts with, I should be doing something, or I shouldn't be doing something. We've all got rules plenty of rules for other people as well, right? They should be doing this and they shouldn't be doing that, right? That's a rule that we've just made up. So views, opinions, beliefs. What is it that you're believing about health and fitness that is creating those results? Health and fitness is what or isn't what? Like you would have had a view, opinion, or belief about me and about us and about this event that meant that your attitude was in, or your mindset was in some place. The actions that you took is that you made sure that you were here. And the result is we're all here together, right? If your view, opinion, or belief about me was, or about Steph or this company was that we were all arseholes and you can't be bothered and her hair's shite and her voice goes through me, you'd probably have taken different actions, right? You probably wouldn't be here. But let's not stay in that space for too long. So views, opinions, beliefs. What are you believing about fitness? Fitness is what? Fitness is not what? And then what are you believing about the future? So what I mean by that is I'm always going to be what, or I'm never going to be what. Or my health is always going to be what, or it's never going to be what. So start to look there and just write that down for yourself. And then the next place to look is, what is it that you're believing about yourself that's creating these results? I am what, I'm not what. Once you've got that down, we're going to start looking at the next layer down, which also feeds into all of this, right? The next layer is, what are you making important? What are you valuing and what are you prioritising that's creating these results? Sometimes what we do is we say, I'm this is it, I'm going to lose the weight, it's January, it's happening, but then things start to creep in. Oh, something just fell. Something fell in the hole there. So it might be like, do you know what, I'll just stay in the night, I'll watch that Netflix box set, or oh, I can't be fucked cooking, let's just get a takeaway. So now what we're doing is we're starting to put things above our fitness and our health and our diet and all of that stuff, right? I'm dead hungry, do you know what, I'll stop at the shop on the way home and I'll get a wee bit of chocolate, that'll do me, right? Before we know it, we've clicked a door open and that's it. So what are we making important, valuing and prioritising? Sometimes what we're actually prioritising, valuing is staying in our comfort and safety, staying in our comfort zone. When we start to prioritise our comfort and safety, then what we're actually doing is we're sitting in survival mode. And when we're in survival mode, everything's a threat. Getting through the door of that gym's a threat. Even getting your trackies on's a threat. Looking for your trainer's a threat. For some people, brushing their teeth, getting out of bed, brushing their hair, having a shower's a threat. Everything's scary when we're in survival mode. So is that something that you might be prioritising, is just staying safe, staying in that comfort zone, because the alternative can be a bit scary, and that's okay. So now that we've got that, we're now going to start looking at getting some perspective, getting clear, getting that clarity on what's really important to you. So Steph is going to take us through an exercise. If you want to grab some tissues, it's cool. Sometimes this can get a bit emotional, but yes, this is Steph's favourite exercise, and I love doing this one. So yeah, I'll let you take the floor, Steph.
Amazing. Yeah, I did this exercise and it was actually so powerful. So it sounds a little bit morbid, but we call it the death questions. The death questions, right? So the thing is, there's two things in life that are guaranteed. That's it, just two things. The first thing is that we're all going to die one day, but we've no idea when. Unless you've got a crystal ball, I don't know. But that's the first two things. We're all going to die with no idea when. So I'm going to ask you a few questions, and I'm going to give you a little bit of time to think about it. But if you were told that you had 24 hours left, how would you spend your last 24 hours? So that's the first thing. So just let your mind wander and just start to jot down what your last 24 hours would look like. And if I'm going too fast, you guys can. Oh, I think I muted myself there. So that's the first one. The second one, I want you to imagine you had one full week left. That's it. So just 1 week. How would you spend your last week? Would it be somewhere hot? Who would you spend it with?
I like to think, when I'm doing this exercise, I like to think about things like, what would I do, but what would I stop doing that I'm doing right now, that I just would drop instantly because I've got a week? It's a fucking point.
Yeah.
Like, I would stop worrying, you know, I would be like, oh, I'm not even going to bother about that, because I'm dead in a week. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to stop worrying about that thing.
Yeah, definitely. I know. And then the very last thing is, I want you to imagine you had a year left. So this was the one that really made me think. Like, imagine you had a year left to live. That's all you had. So for me, what I started to think was, what would I leave? What would I want people to say about me when I wasn't here anymore? There's that quote, because nobody is going to be like, she had a really good thigh gap. She had a good set of biceps, good set of glutes on her. Actually, wouldn't mind if someone said that. But there's so much more. My point is, there's so much more, many more things that I would rather people said about me. And then it also made me to consider that where I see my last year, why am I not starting to implement these things now? Because we just don't know. It's not guaranteed to us.
For all we know, it could be a year.
I know. I was telling Andrea that there's a guy I followed on Instagram, and he was an amazing man, and he was only 47, and still actually not sure what happened. His name was Dave Hollis, and yeah, he just don't know what happens, but he's died on Monday. It's so morbid, isn't it? But it puts things into perspective. 47.
Yeah, a friend of mine died a few years ago now, but so younger than me.
Yeah,
So young.
Yeah.
And it's devastating. The only time I really think about death, it's probably the same for everybody. The only time I really think about my own mortality is when someone close to me dies, or I hear about someone dying. I go, oh,
Yeah.
fuck, that's right, I'm going to die one day.
I know.
Hopefully go and do stuff.
Yeah. And you're right. What would you give up as well? You're right.
Yeah, absolutely. Who would I talk to? Who would I stop talking to?
Mm-hmm.
What conversations would I have? Would I go and apologise to that person, just get that clear so I'm not sitting with it for the next year?
Yeah.
Or what we were talking about earlier, what loops would I close?
Yeah. Yeah. Loops. I think that, so these are the death questions, and it's definitely something that even long after you've completed this exercise, I think it's still something that pops up in your mind every so often. Like, would I be doing this right now if this were the last day of my life?
Yes. So is there anything coming up for anyone that's surprising
About death?
about how you would spend the last 24 hours, week or year? Is there anything that's come up for you that you're like, fuck, I never realised that?
I've just sort of lost someone that I was very fond of as well, and she was going through a bucket list because she knew she was in borrowed time, cancer. And I suppose that's what I would try and do. Plus, I'm already prepared for my death because I'm paying up for a pure cremation. I don't want a funeral. I don't want other people left with that responsibility, because funerals are very upsetting and costly. So I'm actually, if I die tomorrow, I'm ready. My body will be dealt with without family or friends having to stress. Family will get my ashes, that's it. And I think with this lady dying, she was younger than me. And every photograph of her, she was smiling. When her hair was growing back in, she'd dye it blue and stuff. And she got through all her bucket lists except one thing. I suppose that's made me feel, yeah, she was just living her life to the full while she was in borrowed time.
Mhm.
God, I love that.
And I've already got my non-funeral arranged. Don't want a funeral. Don't want, yeah, I'm paying up for my own pure cremation.
And what's your bucket list looking like? What have you got on there?
I would like to see other valleys. I've only ever seen Swan Lake twice. I don't really know. I can't think of much. I love simple things. I love going to Largs, Loch Lomond. I wouldn't want anything. I haven't got a passport anyway. I haven't got an up-to-date passport, so it wouldn't be anything too extravagant.
Okay.
But yeah, simple things like that. She was going abroad and all sorts of things, but obviously Pamela could afford all that. Oh no, I tell a lie. I've always wanted to write a book.
Brilliant.
I write poetry just for myself, and I've always wanted to write a book. Every time I start it, I never get very far. So maybe that's what I would do. Maybe that's what I'll do, write that book I've always been wanting to write.
Perfect. So there's a big
Yeah.
goal, right? That's going to take some energy.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Excellent.
Yeah.
Right. I've got a wee comment from Cheryl who says I'd be not worrying about so many things and living my life to the fullest.
Oh yeah.
Spending precious time with my family and keeping my mind healthy. Keep my life with a healthy work-life balance. And that's so important. Having that work-life balance is it's one thing that I'm still trying to find, I think. But we're getting there.
Yeah.
Amazing. All right, cool. So we're gonna move on to now that we've got the clarity part done, we're gonna look at a bit of excitement, right? So out of the things that you would do, is there anything that's coming up as maybe a bit of a theme? Is there anything that really jumps out to you? And if not, then I want you to think of just one reason why you would want to work on your health and fitness. Just one. And if there's nothing coming up for you there, then let me just give you this one question. Why is health and fitness important to you? And I want you to write down your answer just in one sentence. Why is that important to you? Once you've got that sentence, then in one sentence, I want you to answer, why is that answer important to you? And once you've got that sentence, and whatever comes to mind is just perfect. Then in one sentence, why is that answer important to you? And I want you to keep asking that question and writing it down. And I want you to keep going until something hits you in the throat. Right? Because what we're doing is we're dropping down through all the superficial layers and all the reasons that we tell ourselves and we tell other people, and getting to the real reason why things are important to you. And this is the thing that's going to get you jumping out of bed, ready to train. This will carry you through the days that you don't want to train, that it's cold outside and you're tired and you forgot to grab lunch and all of this stuff, right? Because it's easy to set things aside when we don't really have a great why or a big purpose. And when we say excitement, we don't mean jumping about dead happy. We mean excitement as in there's an energy about you. Shit's moving. all the tiny little particles that make up your body are now excited. They're moving, they're ready to go.
I think as well, like when we refer to training, like training is different for everybody. So obviously, I think when you think of the word training, it like has this idea, an image in your mind of being in being in a gym and doing like deadlifts and stuff like that. But training for you could literally be, today I'm going to reach 5,000 steps. Today I'm going to go a half-hour walk. So training for you will be different for what training is for the next person. What it's about is about instilling habits that's what training is. It's about promoting healthy habits that are going to like serve you for everything else that you're wanting to do in life.
Yeah. Whether it's living your life to the fullest or writing a book or doing a bit more traveling, that's what it's there for. It's meant to empower and fuel everything else that you're going to do in life. So keep going till something hits you in the throat. You want this reason to really move, touch, and inspire you. Good. I think Cheryl's got hers. Amazing. I'd really love to hear what your reasons are. I love this exercise, just gets me every time. I absolutely love it. We've got an Andy in. I can hear him rattling about in the kitchen. It's my dinner he's got on.
Good.
Brilliant. Okay, so by the way, if anyone gets stuck with anything, shout me. This is what we're here for. I want to make sure that you get this and you walk away with this.
I'm really struggling.
Okay, cool. So let me ask you the question then, Linda. I'll lead you through it. Why is your health important to you?
It's good for health conditions that I've got for a start.
Okay.
It would I'm trying to think.
Okay. So why is it important?
Oh, and I just despise my body. Really bad issues with body image.
Okay, so why is it important to you that you improve your health conditions and also start to deal with that body image and get that a bit more positive? Why is that important to you?
For self-love and self-esteem, and even being able to wear the clothes that I want and which I avoid.
Okay. So why is it important to you that you've got more self-love, more self-esteem, and you're able to wear all the clothes that you love?
Because I remember I used to be like that, slimmer, and
And how did you feel when you were like that?
I didn't know. I didn't think about it at the time.
Why is it important to you that you feel good about yourself again? That you're back in that place?
It would help my mental health.
Okay. Why is it important to you that you've got good mental health?
Because I've got quite poor mental health, and it's just horrible. When I go into a depression, it's just awful, horrible, knots in my stomach, just crying, not washing my face, you know.
Okay. Why is it
And that's
important to you to not have to go through that anymore, or to at least reduce it?
because it's just a horrible feeling and horrible existence. There's no motivation to do anything, and
Okay.
and
Why?
I feel weak when I'm like that. And I look at people like that lady who's just died, and every photograph of her leading up to her death, she was smiling. I mean, her hair grew back in, she was dyeing it blue and stuff. So I feel weak, guilty, things like that.
So why is it
Makes me,
important to you to feel motivated and strong and to not feel weak?
I'm back.
Hi, Leanne.
Oh, yeah. I'm bad with this phone, by the way.
Thanks. So Linda, why is it?
yeah.
Okay, sorry, on you go.
Sorry, ask me that question again. Sorry.
No, you're doing brilliant. So why is it important to you that you don't feel weak anymore?
Because you feel kind of shame, and because I don't think anybody wants to feel that way. It's just a natural human thing.
Okay. And why is it important to you that you don't feel that shame anymore?
Oh, I guess I can't think of the answer, but I kind of know. But
You're doing great.
it's just a horrible way to feel.
Why is it?
I know I'm comparing myself to others, but there is a strong person inside me. I know that, but I don't let it out very often because I've got issues. I just don't let it out very much. I know in there's a strong woman, but it's letting her out that seems to be the hard bit.
And why is it important to you that that strong woman gets out?
Because I call myself a feminist, then I sit and cry with depression. It would probably help my mental health a lot.
Okay.
I'd be able to help others more. Yeah.
So why is it important to you to take that feminist energy and those beliefs and go out and help others?
Because I feel if you believe in something and you sit and don't do anything, then it's like I'm into animal rights as well. I feel if you sit and don't do anything about it, I can't think of the words, then you're not helping or whatever, you're not helping that cause, or
yeah,
you're not doing anything to support what you believe in.
And why is it important that you go out and do something to support what you believe in?
Because I believe them, I support them so much, and sitting in your bum watching Netflix isn't really helping voiceless animals or women's issues, or
Got it.
I've got really lazy recently, and
Good.
I
So
believe if you believe strongly in something, you should get involved with it. That's what I'm trying to say.
amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So these are your powerful reasons, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want the strength. This is what I'm hearing and what you're saying, right? You can absolutely correct me if I've got this wrong, but what I'm hearing and what you're saying is you're really committed to making sure that women are treated fairly and they're empowered and they feel powerful. And also that animals are treated with love and kindness and respect and they're looked after. And what I'm really seeing in all of that is that if we've got a world where women are treated that way and they're powerful and they're empowered and animals are the same, then what we're really creating is what you're really creating is a more compassionate, a more connected and a more loving world.
Yeah. I've been told I'm an empath by a few people, but
I can hear that and you're speaking.
Yeah,
I really can.
yeah.
So these are your big reasons, right? These are the things that, in order for you to be able to do that, it helps to feel like you're in a place physically to be able to have the energy to go out and do this shit.
Yeah.
You're up to big things, Linda.
Yeah. Here's hoping.
Oh, there's no hoping about it. You're doing it. Need it. So amazing.
Yeah.
Right, good. And so the next thing that we're going to do, now that we've got these big reasons for going out and doing this stuff, and we're clear about what's important to us, right, and why we're doing it and all of that stuff, let's make a roadmap, which is going to help you with the power part. And the power part is actually going out and taking action. So we're going to basically repeat the first exercise that we did, but we're going to, instead of looking at your current situation, we're going to look at what do you want in your life. So let's look at 3 months' time. What are the results that you want to have in your life? It might be a scale weight. It might be I can run 5K without getting out of breath. It might be I can do 1 pull-up. It might be something complete. It might be I've actually started training yoga and I can do that twice a week now. Or I can do 5,000 steps in a day. So what are those results that you want to create in your life? So write them down. While you're excited, write them down. And then once you've written down a few things for your results, what's the mindset? Using your best thinking, right? What is the mindset that you think you might need to have to make any of that possible? So would you need to be really up for it and ready for it and excited about it, and I can do this and it's possible? So what does your mindset need to be? Just using your best thinking. And then once you've got that, using your best thinking again, what are some of the actions that you might need to take, and what are some of the actions you might need to stop taking to make any of those results possible? Maybe one of those actions is researching yoga classes in your area. It might be, actually, I'm going to reach out and get a call with Steph and ask her, what should I be doing next? Right? Because Steph's really good at advising people. It might be, when I get this free month of Fierce Fitness DIY, I'm actually going to make time in my diary and I'm going to go and do some of those exercises and actually give this my best shot. Then the next part, if you remember, is the views, opinions and beliefs. So using your best thinking, what might you need to be believing about health and fitness to make any of this possible? So it might be that health and fitness is possible for me, or health and fitness is actually something really positive. It's something that's quite doable. It's not out of my reach. It's fun. It can be fun, depending on what you're doing. I like to kill myself with a deck of cards. It can be fun. Maybe it doesn't need to be overwhelming. What are the views, opinions and beliefs you might need to have about the future to make any of this possible? Like, actually, I'm not always going to be unfit. I'm not always going to be demotivated. I'm not always going to be at this level of fitness. Or, you know, I don't always have to be motivated to train. I could just do it anyway, regardless of how I feel, and do it because I said I was going to do it, not because I feel like it. So
It's funny, I think people think as well, because I'm a PT, I always want to do it. I quite often don't.
yeah.
But it's how it feels after. It's yeah.
I get that. People think because, oh, mindset coach, she must have it together, never gets angry, total patience, zen. And I'm like, no, actually, I get fucking angry a lot. But the difference is now I don't run away with it, and I know how to pull myself back out of it. And sometimes I do run away with myself, and sometimes that pulling back is actually going and apologising and making right something I've done wrong. But instead of avoiding that, and I can now lean into it. But yeah, I think people, they make that assumption. But actually,
definitely. And do you know what's funny? Like, I think we've had conversations like this before, where you have taught, you know, you've got clients and stuff like that, and then they catch you out, and they start, and it's like, man, you're using my stuff at me.
So I've coached you and your brother does it with you, and you do it.
I know. He's like, you can tell you're like Andrea now, Steph. I'm like, so funny. Yeah.
Oh, it's so funny.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So yeah, your views, opinions, beliefs about training, about the future, and then what might you need to be believing about yourself? You know, I'm deserving of this. I'm allowed this. I can do this. I'm actually super fit. I just haven't trained yet. You know, that future pacing of like, I'm already there. It's just my body needs to catch up now. But mentally, I'm there. That's half the battle. It really is. And I hope you can see right now, like, how connected our minds and our bodies are. Your mind will stop you from going to the gym before your body will.
Yeah.
But you need that. You need your body strength and your energy to help your mind in other areas. Your mind takes you into the gym, and then your body takes you about life. So the next part is, what do you need to start making important, valuing and prioritising? So you first of all, I want to acknowledge you prioritise this. Do you know how many people said they were coming and they're not here? What are they prioritising? I don't know.
TV.
Prioritize this, and that's huge, right? That's a massive step. You've already told yourself, you've told your body and your mind, this is important to me. It's important enough to sit for over an hour on a Thursday night when there's a million other things you could be doing, right? Cheryl's even managing to get here, even though life is happening around her, but she's still here, even off camera, but still participating. Love that. And I've just seen your comment there, Cheryl. Because your mental health, you continue this positive and healthy way, you'll live a happier life. Your mind is the biggest struggle. You don't want any negative thoughts on your mind. It's like a habit thing. You want your mind to be the same each day, creating a positive habit. You're absolutely making sense. I love that. And it starts with, a habit starts with, you just do it the first time, and then the next time and the next time. So now we've got all of that. You've got your clarity, your excitement, and you're starting to create what the power might look like. Let's give you the power piece. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take you through the freebies that we're going to give you, right? So let me just share screen with you. So there we go. So once you sign up for this, I'm going to send you a link to sign up, and I'm going to give you a code so that you can get this for free for a month. Okay, so this is what it will look like once you're in the site. And what you'll notice is up here, we've got exercise tutorials. In here is all the little short videos of how to do each exercise, so you never need to be stuck. So we've got tricep rope extensions, straight arm pull down, overhead dumbbell tricep press, and they're very, very short videos, less than a minute for each one. And it's Steph that's actually showing you, so it's not something that we've just pulled off the internet. So we've got upper body and lower body, that's how it's split. And here we have gym plans and exercise plans. We've got home-based and we've also got gym-based. And they're all named after GBX anthems. So if you like GBX, you'll recognise some of these. We've got your exercise plans. What we've also got is the field. So I should probably rewind actually. There's 5 pillars to this, right? There's 5 pillars to Fierce Fitness. You've got the fit side of things, which is all your moving your body. And then we've got fueled, which is making sure that you're eating right so that you're fueling all of this stuff that you want to go and do. In the fueled section, first thing that you're going to do is you're going to go to the calorie calculator and you're going to input all of your numbers and it'll guide you through that. And it will generate a calorie count per day that you should be on depending on your goal. You'll take that number and then you'll find a food plan that is pretty close to it. There's some plans that are just 1 day and there's plans that are 3 days. It's really up to you how you want to look at it. Once you're on your food plan, what you'll notice is that there might be things on there that you don't want, you don't like. Some people don't like chicken. Some people bulk their guts up when it comes to turkey or eggs, right? There's also vegan friendly plans on there as well. So if you go onto one of these and there's something that you really don't like on that and you're like, oh, I don't fancy that. So rather than jump off plan and end up down another road, we've created the 1-for-1 method, which is a flexible nutrition plan. So what that means is if you look in your plan, it says chicken, you don't like chicken, you go onto the 1-for-1 method, you look for where chicken is and it will tell you exactly what you can have and how much of it. Of something else, of an alternative that will swap straight into that for you. It might be that you have turkey instead. It could be white fish, it could be soya, it could be tempeh, it could be seitan, whatever it is that you want to be eating. We've done that for your proteins, your fatty proteins, your carbs, your fats, the whole lot. It's all there. Really, really easy to work out. What we've also done is we've added in the Carnage Kitchen recipe book. So we've got some really cool meal ideas. It's got vegetarian, vegan and meat eating recipes in there as well. We've also got yoga to keep you flexible so that you can bend so you don't break. This is that's what Steph said the other day. You can bend so you don't break. And then we've got the focused side of things. So this is where you start to track. You can track your weight every week. You can track your habits and things like that, whatever it is that you want to start keeping an eye on. And then the mindset tools, which is exactly what we're going through today. There's a wee extra one in there called the TEPE model, which I would really recommend that you go through. But this is the whole program. So you're going to start with to get your eating plan, you go to the calorie calculator, you find your plan. If there's anything you don't like, you go to the 1-for-1 method. Then you pick your exercise plan. Is it home? Is it gym-based? Make sure that you do at least 1 yoga a week and all of your tutorials are up there. Go through the mindset tools. I would recommend that you go through this, what we've just done today, do it every 3 months and just check in and see where you're at. And then we've got the trackers as well. And this is what it looks like. All of these are downloadable as well. So if you don't want to use it in a computer, you can download it to your phone, you can print it out. It's really down to you how you want to do this. So that's the platform. We're going to give you a month free so you can really get started on it. The next thing that we're going to give you is I really fucking love my body planner. And everyone that started using this absolutely loves it. We've amazing feedback from it. It's 99 pages long. You don't have to print the whole thing out. Print what you need and leave the rest. So there's lots and lots of like cool quotes and stuff. There's a lot about the mindset, workouts, flexible eating, fitness trackers, and a whole bunch of quotes. You can print them out and put them up on your wall if you want. So I'm just going to scroll through this quickly for you. oh, where are we? There's all your fitness trackers, there's a gratitude log, there's fitness goals, weights and measurements, how to take them. There's your weight tracker if that's something that you want to track, you don't have to. We've also included a graph so you can do it over time and see, you can start to see, oh, every 3 or 4 weeks I put on weight. I wonder what that could be. Might be because you're on your periods, right? Or because of your menstrual cycle. Totally normal. And then we've got your measurement tracker. We've got another way that you can track that. And your cardio logs, your calorie trackers, your workout tracks. So you can see, are you upping your weight? Are you lowering your weight? What are you doing with it? We've also included a period tracker. So Steph's put some amazing information in here about how you might feel before your period, during your period, and after your period, and how to train around those times so that you're not giving yourself an absolute doing. There's a way to track your periods as well. And then we've got the trackers. So we've got a monthly habit tracker, a weekly habit tracker. Just use what is going to be working for you. There's a daily habit tracker, and we've got a yearly planner. So it's all your important dates. These are your high level goals. And then we go into monthly. So your monthly milestones. So I would fill that in at the start of the month. We've got January all the way through to December. Notice that there's no year on it, so you can use this planner forever. Buy it once, it'll do you forever. And then your weekly to-do list. And then we've got time boxing, which, honest to God, this is a godsend for me. So we've started at 5 a.m. I don't imagine anybody's going to be up earlier than that, right? But what you do is you write whatever you're doing and you just colour in the boxes. So you can see in little chunks of time how your day's starting to look. So here we've got training, we could colour in all the way along there because we're going from 5 all the way through to 6. Then we've got showering in there, it's a wee half hour, meditating a wee half hour, working all the way through, cooking half an hour, eating half an hour, chores half an hour, reading half an hour, call your mammy half an hour. So you can see how it all works together, and we've put a blank one in there so you can print out as many as you need. We've also got your daily intention. So how are you going to set your day up in the morning? And then a review at the end of the day. What was the best thing that happened? What could have made it better? What are you going to improve for tomorrow? And that's the planner. So let me just stop. Let me stop sharing. And I just want to open it up and see if there's any questions or any yeah, but what ifs, and I just want to hear from you guys, like what you've got from this session.
Sorry, I kept forgetting about it and I just stumbled on Facebook. So I'm really, really glad that happened. I forgot it was every Thursday. I'm really, really glad that I stumbled across it on Facebook.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Did it work for you being online like this then? Like Zoom's quite good for you?
Or face to face with people in groups, either or.
Amazing. Good.
Brilliant.
Oh.
So let me get you the links so that you can sign up for this, right? And give me 2 wee seconds. I need to go here and I just need to pull up the code. 2 minutes.
And please do reach out to us if you're feeling like, you know, just need a chat or whatever. There's literally nothing I've never heard. I had one girl that was like, I don't like this, and literally didn't like anything. So we managed to sort her out. So there's nothing I've not seen.
Yeah, absolutely. There's nothing that there we go, there's the coupons.
And I think as well, like it's worth saying, like fitness is so many different things. It's about finding something that you love. Some people love a spin class. Some people love pole dancing. I've not done it yet, but I'm definitely going to do that this year. Some people, that might be their idea of hell, or some people love a CrossFit class, or maybe yoga or Pilates, whatever it is. Like it's finding your way of moving your body, basically. So.
Brilliant. So I'm just popping this link into the chat. If everybody can go and click on that and sign up, then that'll give you a full month free. And if you've got any questions at all on how to use it, you get stuck, you're like, hold on a minute, what was I supposed to do with that section? Like Steph said, please reach out.
Yeah.
So that's the link in there, and then I'm going to get you the link. Once you've done that, let me know, and then I'll get you the link for the planner so that you've got that.
Yeah.
2v6. So just drop a done into the chat once you're finished signing up there.
All right.
What time do you get up, Cheryl? You're saying you're an early riser.
Oh, I'm live on LinkedIn, by the way.
Were you? 6 a.m. That's awesome. I think you meant 6 a.m, not 6 p.m, right?
You're genuinely the earliest riser I've ever met, Steph. Steph's like, I just get up at 4 and go to the gym. I'm like,
No, I have to. I have to.
Same.
To be fair, like I do get in the gym when I'm training people, and I'm like, I'd love to think that I would be that person that would be there of my own accord. When I was competing, I did. But I'm a human. Like I like a nap, you know. So, but yeah, no, 4:30 is quite early. It's quite early. I have to say, Chris is in the gym at 5. My brother's in the gym every morning at 5 a.m. I think it's a myth that we need sleep. There's a really good book called Miracle Morning. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it. It's really good. And it talks about setting your morning up right and having a routine, which I think is really, really good. So
yeah, I used to have, well, I need to get back into it actually. My 3 things in the morning was moving, thinking and drinking. So I would make sure I had a pint of water, and I did some sort of movement, and I listened to something that was going to get my brain going.
Yeah, I love that.
Or
So
journaling.
A sun salutation, as we know it, is like obviously part of a yoga class, but back in the day, like yogis would use a sun salutation to wake up their body in preparation for meditation so they didn't fall asleep. Awesome, Linda. That's so cool. Oh, I'm saying awesome. You've lost your link.
All right, I found it again. Sorry.
You got it.
Okay.
But I don't know how to sign in. I can't figure that bit out.
Okay, let me help you.
Mm-hmm.
What are you seeing on your screen?
Like, what is Fierce Fitness and
Yep,
who is this
so-
for? Yeah.
So you might want to scroll all the way down,
Yeah, I know.
and there'll be somewhere that says let me in or sign up now, something like that. If you click that button. Actually, let me just go and let me copy that and then I go in here. Okay, I'm going to share screen with you so you can see what. where to
Let
go.
me in.
Yep, it says let me in for only a tenner, but you've got a code that's gonna make that free.
Right.
So if you can scroll all the way down and or you can, I should add more
Right.
buttons to this, shouldn't I? That's what I should be doing.
Mm.
There we go. So it'll be €0 per month, and then you can go for buy now.
Give me 2 months free? No.
It's go for the recommended plan, £9.99 a month.
Oh no, I can't see that.
So what do you see?
I see a woman that I would like to look like. All dressed, all
I'll be
dressed in
Steph.
black. Well, it's somebody all dressed in black and looking great. Right, let me in for £10.
Yep, click that.
Right,
It'll bring up 2 wee things, and then click the £9.99 a month.
9.99. All right. Buy
Right,
now.
brings it down to 0. Click that one.
I'm lost now. Down to 0.
So if you click through to, if you can see can you see the screen that I've got on right now that I'm sharing? If you can't see it, I'll help you go on. I'll help you after this to get on.
Fierce Fitness DIY monthly.
Yes, that's the one. And then
Yeah,
what you'll see is that the total comes up at 0.
And
then if you scroll down, there's somewhere to put your email address. And
oh,
then
right. I've got honestly.
Good stuff. So that will bring your first month down to 0.
Right.
And then from there, let me know when you've got that. I'm going to stop sharing.
I've got that, I think, yeah.
Perfect. Good stuff. Right, Cheryl's sorted, Leanne's sorted, you're just a bit sorted. And then I've just popped a link to a Google Drive file. So what you're going to do is just hit File and make a copy and save it to your computer, your phone, your drive, whatever you need to. And then you can have a flick through that. What we're also going to do, what I'm working on next, after the current one that I'm working on, is I'm going to create a short course that's going to go with these planners and basically walk you through every single section of it, which I think will make things a lot easier for people. I'm also going to create a document or a guide with a list of apps that you can use so that you can actually fill this in online on your device rather than having to print it out, if that's something that you want to do as well. So don't worry, that's all in the pipeline and it's coming out, but I just want to make sure that you've got this planner in your hand. So let me know when you've got that downloaded.
I was just I'm just having a little look there at the comments on Facebook, and I didn't realise, forgot people were watching there, but I don't know if Wendy, if you're still watching, give me a shout if you want to have a chat through anything at all. Because I think you've just said, how do you push yourself to do it though? I find it challenging to maintain routine at the moment, even though I know what best choice is. So I think it goes back to that why as well, doesn't it? Like what's going to make you move, and getting really, really clear on what the outcome is and getting really excited about that. But yeah, give me a shout if you want to chat a little bit more as well. So
one of the other things that actually really drives your motivation and your excitement is, how are you seeing things? What are those beliefs that you've got around it? Because if you're believing that it's hard, it's too much, it's too big, it's going to take forever, you're never going to get there, you're going to interact with that thing, no matter what it is, whether it's fitness, a project, a business, a relationship, you're going to interact with that thing from that place.
Yeah.
So we need to look at, where are we coming, not where do we want to get to, where are we coming from? Are we coming from, I can do this, it's possible, I deserve it, it's, it's not unsurmountable?
Yeah.
If we come from there, we're going to interact from that place, and that will make a massive difference.
Yeah. One of my biggest driving forces is being told I can't do something. I hate it. So this is to the point my brother is like, you'll never have a house in Spain. Like, as in, go and get a house in Spain. And I was in a relationship, and my ex, I remember saying, wow, look at these girls, they're like bodybuilders, look at that, that's incredible. And he was like, you'll never be able to do that. But done it. Then get an invite to the British finals. So yeah, that's my driving force. It's been told, and I fucking hate it. So but that's what drove me to do it.
I love that.
Yeah. And then also all these limiting beliefs and all that were not, like, neither here nor there, because I proved myself wrong as well. So yeah, I think it's what makes you tick, right?
Yes. I was looking at, when I was looking at starting my coaching business, I chatted to a coach that I knew, and I said, I've set myself a goal, and he's like, okay, what's your goal? And I told him, bye, Cheryl, make sure that want to make sure that you've definitely got that. It looks like you have. So any questions, anything that you need, let us know, and please reach out to Steph for a chat as well. All right, take care.
Bye.
Yeah, he'd said, I told him my goal, and he was like, it's a bit of a pipe dream. And I was like, oh, okay. So then every single time I signed a new client, I had his voice in my head. It's a pipe dream. And every time I signed one, I phoned him.
Yeah.
How you doing? I've just signed a new client. All right, cool, that's good for you. The next one, phoned him again. There was one time I phoned him 3 times in a day. and it started to click, I think, for him, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
And I was like, don't ever doubt me again. And he's like, holy shit, you say something's going to happen and it happens.
Love it. Yeah.
So that's
It's
power.
so good.
That is power.
Easy.
So Linda, is that you all done? You're all signed up? All good to go?
I think so, yeah. Mhm.
Brilliant. So please reach out to Steph, get a chat organised, get yourself on this. And don't let this be a thing that passes you by. Use this, build that energy, build that strength, and go write that book.
Yeah.
All right, love it. Brilliant. Thank you so much for joining us. And yeah, this has been amazing. I'm going to go check the comments.